No tilt. No tilt, brothers. So weird. I couldn't stream to Twitch yesterday. Maybe it's because I had the word retard in it. And Twitch is like, no R words, guys. We'll let top streamers say worse and do nothing, but cannot have the word retard in your name. That is a no-no. But it's okay. Amazon is the overlords. They have all the rights. No one should ever argue with them. And they're the best. They're the best thing to ever exist. Without Amazon, I wouldn't be able to order crack within 2 day free ship with 2 day free shipping. You know, something to think about. Who is a bigger loser, me or you? I vote me. Ryan? That's a good question. But because you weren't on my stream yesterday, it does make you the bigger loser. No cap. You have to be you have to join every single stream every single time. If you don't, it means you're either jorking it, and jorking it is cringe, or you're jorking your friends. Say its name. Something to think about. His name is Penis Butt. No, the only thing that I loved. No tilt this no tilt stream. I'm gonna be chill. I'm gonna be loving and forgiving. No attack. Or maybe I was working. Maybe you should quit your job. You ever think about that? You should quit working. You don't actually need money. You don't. Whoa. 6, 7, 7. That's crazy. Oh, counts as land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay. Base, I guess. Damn. Double season would be so crazy right now. Or boss. My boss. Oh yeah, he got rid of. Oh my god, he got rid of the card that I need. It would just be annihilating him right now. Balls. Why do these cucks always have enchantment destroyers, card destroyers, cuck destroyers? He's got a 9/9 though. There's no way I don't have any exile destroy this card, so that's the downfall of this deck. Kind of planning on quitting if I don't start working. Been standing around, but just started, aka still in training. Pays the same. Yeah. I mean, I always say do you, man. If it was up to me, and I could, if I had the will and the drive to, yo, what's up, Elevation? Thanks for joining. If I had the will and the drive to do content creation full time, which I do not, I would maybe indulge in it. It just doesn't sound fun to me. Answer. I heard Tor browser was going to be redone in Rust. No, it's not going to be. It's a, what do you call that? It's not a pull request. It's something that they are actively. It's a, what is it called? It's a request, but it's not. It's like a request. They're requesting to do this. There is a rewritten version. You can actually use it now, but it's not secure. It's only a proxy. I forget what it's called. That would be based. Fuck this guy. I can bring him back though. Okay, has to attack. Let's keep making gobbies. Mental, I was talking about Rust. Based. You should only talk about Rust because Rust is the only government-backed language that I trust. Tor browser is a hacked version of Firefox. Yes, it is. They use Firefox as their browser with some hardened features, I guess. Would be the there is some speculation that there is some theory that like Chrome should have been used instead, but you know, I don't think it was even an option at the time, or like even a forethought. They probably picked Firefox for the open source part, but Firefox, I know they maintain like their version of Firefox, but it's I don't know. It's my theory is block with everything to ruin his day. I don't think it'll even kill him. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it won't. But we ball, right? It won't even kill him. Raise your hands if you know what shotgun modern modem is. I don't know what a shotgun modem is. Yeah, I don't think that kills him. Doesn't. Damn it. I did that all that for nothing. I don't know what a shotgun modem is. Oh my god, my balls. All right, I quit this one. I could have had super sexy amount of... Oh, I fucked up. I shouldn't have. 256 killer or 100. Damn, I could have fucking... If I would have just been not such a paper bitch hand, I could have fucking had him. Ah, oh, man, that sucks. No, I don't know what a shotgun modem is. If it's like a modem that's based on like putting Tor on it or something, or... The FBI are the exit nodes for Tor, and you're talking to them right now. True. Just use I2P, the more based version. I mean, I2P does solve some of Tor's problems, but they don't have like a simple browser like Tor does, or a foundation like Tor, like where they get a lot of their government, and which is not a problem, but they get a lot of government funding and a lot of funding in general from other people in bigger organizations. I actually like I2P better because it's cooler. Is 56 kilobit modems on one on ISA board, and back in the 90s. That sounds kind of cool. Yeah, older, like actually I am looking to, so I use a travel router with open WRT on it. I wouldn't really trust it probably, but OpenWRT finally has a modem. It's kind of big though, and it needs a power supply, because I like to bring my modem everywhere and not use Wi-Fi. I just plug I Ethernet into that and have that use Wi-Fi. Because it looks cooler and it's more secure, and it's nicer. And I have to carry around 2 extra things, but minus the meme of that, basically it's a super dial-up from like 30 years ago. Yeah, that sounds awful. Actually, I remember dial-up. I actually get mad when I'm like getting like only like 200 down. Like if I get 200 down speed, I'm like, this is slow. We're in the fuck. Or if one time my internet was being bogged down to like 20 megabytes a second, I'm like, this is actual hell. This is cancer, even though it's like probably a million times faster than it was like a long time ago. I feel you. I've seen too many Hack 5 pineapples. I don't trust anything when I'm traveling. So, I mean, I'm slightly memeing. Wi-Fi is technically... I like using OpenWR. I don't know how to describe it. I don't think it's any more secure. I just feel like I get better speeds because then I can connect to any Wi-Fi access point. It gives me a longer range. And some of the public Wi-Fi hotspots, like when I go to coffee shops, they block Tor, and it's kind of annoying. And the ones that I do know that don't are like relatively in proximity of me, so it's kind of easy. I mean, I just have to do bridges after that personally, but it's, I don't know, man. I don't think it's any more secure to do this from like my research that I've looked into. I just feel like I get better speeds too when I'm Etherneted into the router. And if I wasn't running Cubes OS with Hunix, I could route everything through that router through Tor. So, kind of nice. I mean, free VPN moment. Kind of. But Wi-Fi Pineapple is, I think, a little over, from what I understand. It's a little over. I'm not dissing like Hack 5. I like their products. I have some of theirs, but I think it's a little over. What's the word? Like it's sought after. It's a little bit over. I use a portable router to feel super elite, for real. Me. I give this like super complicated answer, but it's really not that. Damn, what a cuck. I'm looking at so OpenWRT. I would just get theirs personally, because it's cost the same as the one I got, and it's sponsored by them. It's free and open source. So something to think about. Ethernet to router is always better than Wi-Fi route. Yeah, of course. Overpriced. What do you mean it's overpriced? It's $80, bro. It's for a travel router. I mean, that's not really that overpriced. What do you mean? It's not that overpriced. It's not even like a Flipper Zero. Flipper Zero is overpriced. I'm not even gonna say it's overpriced. It's over. A Flipper Zero is over delivering, under promising. It's cool though, and it gets people thinking. What I think it should be looked at is it gets people thinking about radio waves and like how hacking radio waves is a real thing. I wouldn't call the OpenWRT a Wi-Fi router. It's a portable. It is a portable Wi-Fi router though. It's nice. There's a really cool channel that I watch that does a lot of Hack 5. Oh, Hack 5 is overpriced. Sure. I mean, they're a business. They got to make money. It's like anything else. Like anything else on the planet. You can do it yourself, but what? I can't do that. But I think I think someone showed like you can make a rubber ducky for like dirt cheap. You know, it's, of course you can, but it's not like. Huh. And so is Flipper Zero. I do the Flipper Zero and have bought them from Hack 5 too. I don't know. I just look at them as a business. They want to make their money. You can make it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think the Flipper Zero is just it's a cool product for people that get thinking about radio waves. Now, the Blue Shark Nano is supposed to be even better, and it is a fraction of the cost. But we can say anything is overpriced to a certain degree. If that correlates. I have a Flipper Zero. I like it. You can actually use it as a 2-factor authentication key, by the way.
I'll take my zombies
and it's got some unlocked firmware that does do some cool things, and I think it does have some neat capabilities. But beyond that, yeah, it's expensive. But there's a lot of hacking tools that are expensive that you can just like you can probably make for yourself for a fraction of the cost. You're just paying for someone to do it for you and their time. Now, what is overpriced is Windows laptops, and that, yeah, like actually, controversially, gaming laptops are dog shit. I miss Tech TV with screensavers. You're a boomer. When people tell me, bring this up, I didn't know this shit existed, by the way. Like, I was very, very, very unaware of it. But because I didn't really have like TV like that, I didn't know that it could be used as yeah, it can be used universal second. I think FIDO. I believe FIDO would be the correct term. I used it for second factor authentication on my Cloudflare account, just to test it. It was very cool. Flipper Zero has actually a lot of capabilities. You can turn it into a bad USB. There's some unlocked firmware made by a GitHub maintainer. I think his name is I Am Jacoby. He has a YouTube channel. You can use it. Yeah, you can use it for authentication though. It's kind of cool. And it's got, look, there are some radio waves on here that are insecure, that is in the wild, that you could probably do some hacking with. Companies don't care about security. But there's, from what I understand, there is, what do you call it? There is a device that you can get that will copy like NFC cards that don't have, and some will have weak encryption. It can I think it's Hacker Warehouse is where you can get it. I was reading it's a Proxima Mark K3. This does like card security hacking. It's pretty expensive. So I didn't think that like the Flipper Zero was doing, I mean, the Flipper Zero is cheap for what it does. It's expensive for just a person to buy it for no reason. But when you actually look at a lot of these pen testing tools where they do have like a use case, they can get very, very expensive. This is RFID tagging. Pretend to be a reader or a tag. Sniff communications between reader and operate in standalone mode without a PC, USB battery required. And then there's that one thing called Blue Shark Nano. I was looking, my uncle showed me how to hack DirecTV back in the day to get Tech TV. Did you just commit to a crime? To not a federal agent? We have your IP address, sir. And it's Joe. I actually, you know, it's funny. I never got scared when somebody told me my IP address, like when they leaked it, when they told it to me. Like I was so retarded at the time. I didn't know what that meant, and people thought that. Then someone was like, "They can get your address," and I'm like, "Okay." My address is public. Like I was just kind of like retarded. I was like, "My address is public. Of course they can get my address." But you know, it actually meant nothing. And you can just unplug your router and replug it back in, and you get a new IP address. It was just never a concern. It never a concern to me, because I talked a lot of shit in video games growing up. I mean, I still do. When I play like League, I talk up mad shit. People are like, "I'll find you." I'm like, "Okay." Good luck, I guess. It's just a video game, my dog. You should probably chill out. What was I watch I listen to, what's the podcast? By Twit TV. What's their name? Security Now? I listen to Security Now. I believe, isn't one of the members from that era, the screensavers? Since Ryan's a boomer. Damn. Yeah, Leo Laporte. Yeah, him. He does it with Steve Gibson, who is like they're cool to listen to. And this guy's fucking bumping. Oh no. I guess. Second. Nice. Should have had him out. He did a screensavers and a call for help. And yeah, he was really cool. I watched some of like the old, like after I was very aware of it. I watched it. It was kind of cool, like on YouTube and stuff. It's a very interesting show. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Any damage, brother? Hell yeah. And I mean, it's there was that one show, Raw Time. Come on, man. Who being such a cuck? Damn, bro. This guy's like slobbing on my penis. Wish I knew about the Computer Chronicles when I was a kid. No blocks. Ooh. Okay. Beautiful. Everyone's got haste. 10. There we go. Okay. And that's a W. Yeah, I mean, it would have been cool, but like, I don't know. I was like I went outside a lot. I didn't get into computers until later. Like way later. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for me to FOMO get it. Like, I got into computers because I got into Linux. And I got into Linux because I bought a laptop and it was too expensive to upgrade. And it couldn't run Windows 10. And I was pissed because I didn't have enough money to like put any. I didn't have enough money. Tech TV got me into Linux. Oh, nice. I don't think I ever ran into anyone that. I guess I could thank not just Linux for me getting into self-hosting, but that's pretty much what it is. That's what got me into self-hosting and privacy, and you know, like a few other, like just like my hobbies and like a lot of my hobbies stem from me finding Ubuntu, even though I'm a hater. And Ubuntu was kind of bloated at the time, not gonna lie. What did I? It was like, what did I run on it? I'm trying to think. I think Ubuntu was cool with 4 gigs of RAM at the time. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I liked outdoors and computers, but I had no friends to juggle either. That's why you got to combine both of them. Tech Prepper. I think there's like a YouTube channel called Tech Prepper or something, or like he's like a computer like urban tech. Popper Mint. No, it was just straight Ubuntu. But if I had to pick, ooh, that's a hard decision. Probably. Oh god, that's hard. Pop! OS has left such a bad experience with me that I can't even enjoy it. Mint, just doesn't. I ran Mint in a VM and it was bad. It's a bad time. And I'm just a Mint hater. I guess Pop! OS, because Cosmic Desktop is written in Rust. That's it. If I had to pick, it'd be Pop! OS because it's written in Rust. That is advised. No, those are some hard. It's like a hard question. Yeah, I'd pick Pop! OS because it's Cosmic. The Cosmic Desktop, because it's written in Rust. System is. No, I know. I know System 76 makes PP poo poo OS. I'm just a hater. I'm fine with System 76. God damn, bro. What a cuck. Or asking for advice. Oh, I thought you. Never mind. I thought you were asking me like Pop or Mint. I'm like, probably Pop! OS. I need to get rid of this card. He's flying. Nice. Yeah, it's funny too is this. If I can get 3, never mind. I use green decks always doesn't help. But I don't know. It's kind of like a good. I don't know. I mean, it's. I think if normie had to choose it, I'd tell them to pick System 76, even though I had a bad experience with Pop OS. Ooh, I'm gonna lose this one. I can feel it. God damn, bro. Already a 4. That's crazy. Okay, yep. Lost. Not even gonna. I have no mana. Either too much mana or not enough mana is how it always goes. Too much Plat 4. Absolute cancer. Platinum just in general in Magic the Gathering is complete cancer. It's like probably the worst. No tilt though. We chill. We chilling. We're no tilting. Okay. DCs. Always these cards, no matter what. I guess asking for opinion, getting my system settings square, but don't like the GUI images. I like my legs can particularly look like Windows 95. Fuck you. Oh, you can put whatever you want. I think, I mean, if you like Mint, just use Mint, I guess. You know what I mean? I'm not a huge fan of... I like, I guess, like, very modern looking hard... Like, I like how... I didn't really care for Garuda's, the way they were doing it at first, with their new release. Damn. Not enough. Just give me a fucking land, dude. God damn, bro. I hate Magic for this. It's like, we're gonna give you the same fucking cards no matter what. No tilt, we're good. I like my computers looking like, I guess, like very rounded edges, very modern, very gooberish. Just like how Cuck Magic the Gathering likes to, you know, fuck the deck draw. Bunch of cucks in this fucking game. You could even say that, I guess relatively speaking, some people like XFCE, and I absolutely hate it. Bro, come on. Fucking these blue people take so long to think. My main thing about GUIs is my taskbar. Jesus fucking Christ. Took you that long to fucking figure out what to do. What a cuck. Yeah, I agree. There's a self-hosted solution right now that I'm looking at. Jesus Christ. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna be able to do it next match anyways. Oh my god, he's got a copy of this fucking bitch. I hate fucking blue decks. They're a bunch of cucks.
I've got all the intel you need.
Actual cuck deck, bro.
You go low.
The taskbar, there's this self-hosted called Glance or something. It has like everything you need on one panel. It's pretty cool. These fucking losers with these blue decks, bro. Absolute fucking
All
cucks.
part of my plan.
Oh my god, here we go. This guy's fucking retarded. I literally can't. I can't have someone play this that takes this long to think. It's so boring. It becomes such a boring match. I'll take the L on that one. Yeah, I like my test bar at the bottom though. What is up with people in I literally hate blue deck players. They're literally the fucking losers of it. Actually, all blue deck players can go fuck themselves. They're the worst. I hate them. They take way too long to fucking think. I'm like, I already have my moves ahead of me. Like, what do you have to think about? My tilt is gone. Okay. I don't know what's up with Firefox. People getting boners over side tabs or whatever it's called. Because of, what is it, Zen browser? I don't even like Zen browser. I used it and I did not like it. But like, I don't know. I like there's this thing, self-hosted thing that I'm gonna set up called Glance that I really wanna check out. It looks very cool. I'd be able to have like all my RSS feeds, my weather, everything in one single, like, pretty much web page. It's kind of, oh my god, no! I hate these fuckers. You gotta take Lightning because he's a bitch. No, I didn't mean to attack with him. Damn it. Fuck that loser. So like, I guess like, but it looks really cool. I just found it on GitHub. I guess that doesn't matter. Fuck. So you can get his lifelink. I have no reach in this, which kind of sucks. Reach can be... Ooh. Guess these are gonna be like throwaways. Vigilance would be such a banger here too. Jesus Christ. All right. Yep. Somehow these fucking losers, man. All right. Literally destroyed all my fucking heroes. That's what I'm saying, man. Magic don't make no sense. This cuck just keeps getting life. Magic just... What's up, chat? It's gotta be like... They gotta have some retard up there just being like, you know what, let's make this the worst possible thing ever for its players. And make sure that they draw nothing. No, I talked to everyone individually by their username. Sorry, I'm a poser. Fuck you, Ryan. You're a mint user. Hello, YCLEPT87. I just want to dunk on people in this to make them so they rage quit like me. Because again, Magic a Gathering Arena is full of a bunch of retards that designed the game. I'm just a hater. Certified hater. Look at me, I have destroyed target creature enchantment. But I have no fucking black. There we go. I have some heavy drops. This is why it sucks. Because my drops are so fucking thick. And now I'm drawing nothing but land. You get what you wish for, bitch. Is what I... For some reason, most beginner-friendly distros still use X11. They use X11 because... it's just super convenient. Wayland is not super stable. That's why. Yeah. Am I gonna get a creature? All right. Well, in one mat. And it's insecure, and it doesn't do GPU isolation, and it's outdated. And it kind of sucks. There's a lot of reasons wrong with X11. That's why Wayland is I still use X-Free 86. This cock got something up his fucking foreskin or something. I wouldn't say it's quote unquote very insecure. Yep. That's awesome. My first creature and he dies. Real convenient. The flat pack sandbox can be escaped. Sure. X11 is just inside of everything, that's why. Come on, you fucking bitch, bro. God, man, this guy's taking too long too. Jesus Christ. Which has OSM security benefits, but Wayland is still way better. This fucking retard. Yeah. Eat a bag of dicks. Yeah, you feel stupid now? Hope you do. My browser is still shitting itself right now. Oh, by the way, I think we were talking about Ladybird. I use it now. It's kind of nice. It's very janky and very bad for a lot of reasons, but it's very cool. It's very interesting. But like X11, I think will be phased out at one point. I mean, a lot of stuff wasn't built with security in mind. Yeah, you fucking bitch. You fucking bitch. 3, you have 3 poison counter now. Nope. Eat a bag a day. That's all I know. Yeah, it feels... You feel like a fat bitch now, don't you? Ladybird is still in beta, but how does it implement a browser sync? I think they just do. I think they just do it. From what I understand, Firefox is. I'm going to pedal for another drink, buddy. Sleep tight if you're not here when I get back. Oh, I'll be here. From what I understand, is Firefox could have done this, but it was taking them a significantly longer time to achieve it for whatever reason. Like the most secure browser currently available is now Chromium. Yeah. Because they implicate sandboxing. Well, like Chrome in general. So this would be true, yes. Yeah, fuck this loser. One life back. Ooh. So, absolutely 100%. Right now, to our knowledge, the Chrome browser is probably the most secure, but the Chromium in itself is maintained by Google, and I believe they have ownership. I think they have ownership. Even if it's open source, they can always backpedal. It's maintained by Google. Wow, Samsung Internet users, that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, the majority of it is like maintained and owned by Google, so Medium is an example of both very secure Chromium-based browsers. Their peak. My concern is Google could at some point close source it or just remove people that have access to it. They probably won't. Google heavily relies on the free and open source software side of and people in the Linux space don't like to even admit this, which is kind of stupid, but Google themselves rely very heavily on free and open source software. Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit are all maintained by corporations, so what's your point? My point is that could be a potential problem in the future if they decide that they want to pull back on them. If they want to take these products and make it difficult for open source developers to maintain them or use them or fork them, that could be a problem. If Google gets broken up as a monopoly and say they have to sell off the Chromium engine and no one buys it and it loses maintenance, security patching, and updating, then that's a problem. This is the problem when big corporations own stuff that we use on a high level. Look at Firefox. Mozilla is literally a shit show right now. And guess what? Firefox suffers from it. Maintainers can eventually suffer from it. Just because you can fork it and open source doesn't mean that it can't be affected by the maintainers and the owners of that said company. This is exactly what happened to CentOS. CentOS was owned by Red Hat. Red Hat gets fucking bought out, and guess what happens? They discontinue CentOS when they said they weren't going to, way before when they were supposed to. Corporations owning big chunks of these things that people rely on is a huge problem. Yes, Rocky Linux came out of nowhere. No, not Rocky. Yeah, Rocky Linux and Alma Linux. Alma Linux came out of nowhere, but they didn't need to. You know what I mean? They weren't required to. But they, luckily, there's good people in the world that continue to, I guess, like, make a statement when they don't really have to. And not everyone's gonna do that. This is what it would be nice if we passed Chromium to a nonprofit. Yeah. Even actually, I like the way that Graphene OS does their structure. They're both a nonprofit and a for-profit company. There are some things in society that do not need to be for-profit and do not need to have a big business behind it to coexist. This whole argument of big business is gonna keep it, always thinks of the people, is a load of horse shit. Look at 23andMe. Like, literally, big business having control over people's DNA, people taking their DNA, trusting it with big business. Now they're going through bankruptcy. What are they gonna do with the DNA? They're gonna probably sell it. And I'm trying not to be hyperbolic. Even Apple owning WebKit, Apple can, again, Apple suffers greatly benefits from an open source projects and people maintaining this for free, and either in their time or in general. But yeah, it's a problem. This is gonna be a dumb point, but as long as someone has a copy of the source code, even if it may take a long time to recognize the torch could be passed on. I don't think that's necessarily a good point, to be honest, only due to the fact that then you're working with a black box, and when you have a big team like Google working on security patches and fixing stuff, a small team might be objectively worse, and it might not be getting the proper patching. You know what I mean? This is like something that people do bring up, that like, so a lot of do these have reach? Hold on, sorry. A lot of these people that do like patching directly from Google, surprisingly, actually, they don't do full Android vendors, they don't do full patching, and Android's open source. You know what I mean? Android's complete open source. They give all the patching and the security bulletins to all these vendors, and they do either a partial or half-ass patch or update, or they're behind. To be fair, that could and should be done with smaller programs. The Chromium code base has 34 million. So yeah, that's a lot. Even if someone had a copy, that's a lot, man. I mean, think about how many people work on fucking the Linux kernel. I'm not saying that it would be impossible, but my fear is that because Google has such huge ownership over it, they could make it hard. I don't have enough land again. Fuck. All right, I'm just gonna end that because fuck, man. What the fuck, bro? What is this? It's not only it would not only be hard to navigate. You would have to trust that they're doing the patching correctly and consistently. Development's hard. I'm never gonna knock development. I mean, are there easier development jobs? Well, of course, but there's like easier like jobs for like anything. Security is actually a very difficult field. That's why when people say, I want to get into cybersecurity, or they want to get into cybersecurity in general, well, what do you mean? Cybersecurity is a huge field. There's a lot. You have to be somewhat technically knowledgeable about a lot of this stuff. I'm not saying you have to be a programmer, but imagine the Linux kernel has around 20 million lines of code. That's a lot, and it's only getting bigger. And a lot of the final say is from Linus himself. I mean, that's one person who's making sure that it's not fucked up in between. This is why some development can be very slow, or when these products get huge. Okay, there's a perfect example. There's a project I've been following for a very long time. Luckily, I haven't, I never sunk any of my data into it, but it was a really cool project. And they just released a GitHub update that they will be paused until they can figure out funding, and that sucks because I think the project is really cool, and I really like the idea of it. I would be even willing to pay if my money, like, I've donated a couple times, but I'd be willing to hope that people could pay them enough to continue the development. This is what happened with Dive West. We couldn't get enough funding to keep his project going, and what I think he was doing was objectively very good work. And that's one guy who was just maintaining. That's why, like, I think the Graphene OS devs even said that the more phones they add to the side of appeasing everyone can be very cumbersome. I mean, then they have to go out and buy all these devices and make sure it works and make sure it's secure and make sure the microcode on the hardware is secure. The Linux kernel is unfortunately monolithic, which means it lacks isolation. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure that any major changes, if I'm not mistaken, has to go through Linus at the final say. I think in the beginning, if I'm not mistaken, he rejected anything Rust related. Like, he didn't want any Rust involved in it, and I believe it's different now. But I believe that the board, the Linux Foundation, the board still has a huge amount of input. I mean, oh god, not this guy. I gotta end this one quick. If I don't, I'm fucked. Can I do anything? Ooh, enchantment? Is that an enchantment or an artifact? Damn it. Wait, does it count? It does. Nice. XNU and NT are both, the Linux kernel is, oh, there are some attempts like KSPP that improve isolation in the kernel. XNU and NT are both hybrids. Interesting. I'd like to read more on that. I like learning about, like, the Linux kernel and microcode, in all honesty. It's a very interesting topic. It's very cool when you get, like, lower levels. I think it has to, like, yeah, I think it has to, if I'm not mistaken, it has to be unisolated. But isn't there, what is that? There's a way that this is done where I have to go to a website. Graphene. Damn it. There was a discussion I was reading where you can use Triviant on Arch based lessons. Oh, okay. No, it was a way that the it was something about sandboxing and how they want it to be more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I'll have to check that out then. There's, what's the word? There's a way to do sandboxing and it isolates the whole, like the whole, it's a different form of isolation that makes sandbox escaping harder. It's what Graphene OS wants to go to. From my understanding. Oh yeah. I'm just trying to think of the name. It's already being used in cloud production. I think in some cloud production where it isolates the whole every process is isolated. It's like a, I don't know how to describe it, but it's pretty cool. Damn. First strike too, and flying. Android, Dandy, and Chrome OS both use heavily patched Linux kernel. Yeah. Surprisingly, actually, Chrome OS, is pretty good. When people ask, like, two, the fuck's he immortal? The Chromebook is shit though. It's definitely not private. Chrome is actually the most secure consumer OS as of now. There's an entire, yeah, there's a, now that my brain is functioning more, there is the way it does sandboxing isolation is pretty cool. You can actually even port it over to Linux in the terminal. You can run it like different desktop environments there. But yeah, Chromebooks are actually very secure. The privacy is somewhat questionable. If none of the information is correlated to you, you're fine. If you're just using it to have a secure experience, I think it's fine. But I think good security generally, in my opinion, it somewhat increases privacy, because if a data breach happens, or if your hardware is compromised and they steal your information from it, or you get hacked, or a million other things, then all the apps on Chrome OS are sandboxed regardless. No, I know that, but there's it's something else. God, I'm having like a miniature stroke. Yeah, obviously, yeah, phones were built with security in mind. That's why it's kind of great, but I believe that Graphene OS in the long term wants to get away from Linux in general. I'm gonna find it. Reconnects. What is the roadmap for? The initial phase for the long-term roadmap is moving away from the current foundation. Will be deploy an integrated hypervisor like Zen X to leverage it for reinforcing existing security boundaries. Linux would be running inside the virtual machine at this point, inside and outside of the sandbox being reinforced. In the long term, Linux inside the sandbox can be replaced with the compatibility layer. gvisor, that's what I was looking for. It's called gvisor, which we need to be ported to ARM64. This is actually kind of cool. I found gvisor by accident. It's a Linux software project developed by Google. It's a container security platform. It's very cool. Graphene OS wants to move that weird Google microkernel, which is surprising, open source and maintained. Yeah, it's called gvisor, I think, also. Or improve your container security delivery apps. It's very interesting. It's kind of, I read through the white paper in their website just one day, and I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. Just give me flat packs on my phone, please. Guys, I need flat packs now. And that is surprising. In hindsight, actually, no, it's not. No, Google does like open source. I think people's like argument that Google doesn't like open source or is against it is kind of silly. They maintain a lot of, they have a lot of open source stuff. Oh, that I'm not aware of. Graphene OS wants to move to, oh, but actually I am aware of this. Fuchsia. I'm aware of Fuchsia. But I don't remember what it is. It's an operating system. It's an open source compatibility based operating system developed by Google. Is contrast to Google's Linux-based operating systems such as Chrome OS and Android. Fuchsia is based on a custom kernel named Xicron. It's publicly distributed as a self-hosted Git repository and debuted. Oh. After years of development, the official project was launched in 2021. It's first generation Google Nest Hub. Oh wow. It's on their Nest Hub. That's interesting. UI mobile kernel is based on a new object compatibility kernel named Xicron. After the mineral, it's code based, was derived from the little of a little kernel for embedded devices and for low resource use on a wide device basis. No, nice. It's written in C++, cringe. C based, assembly based. Interesting. No Rust. Not interested. Somewhat inspired by the Unix kernels though, but differs greatly. For example, it does not support Unix-like signals, but incorporates events-derived programming and observes patterns. Most system calls do not block the main thread. Resources are represented as objects rather than files, unlike traditional Unix systems, which everything is a file. Interesting. That's cool. No Rust though. Flatpak wants to sandbox applications, but it's very flawed. It can be used to create a good sandbox, though. Flatpaks are, I think most of the stuff is outdated with the concerns for Flatpaks. The biggest concern was unverified apps going into Flatpaks, but Flatseal has, I don't know, I use Flatseal. Even the Linux kernel has Rust. I know, right? Based. Flatpaks, I believe, Flatseal kind of fixes it, and then you can just use bubble wrap, I believe, is the preferred. Like, the bubble wrap is better than FireJail. FireJail is kind of worse. But I wouldn't say Flatpak's flawed anymore. I think the biggest flaw was the fact that it was unverified apps being ported to it, but if you use the verified app, it's fine. And the permissions are pretty, like FlatHub kind of tells you like, hey, this could potentially be dangerous. It kind of gives you a warning. Sometimes you have to break security to have convenience or make stuff work to a certain degree. It might be a low, not zero, but it might be a low threat. Oh no, some Flatpak application X's your whole file. Yeah, some are probably not good in the terms where it's, but FireJail is no bueno. Use Bubble Jail. I thought it was called Bubble Wrap. It's Bubble Jail. I know which one you're talking about, but what's the other one? There's another. I thought there was another one. There's I think App Armor is the other one, but it's never incorporated correctly or something. Because I use cubes a lot, I go down a lot of threads on how to make certain stuff work in cubes, but I realize cubes just works. It does like all the sandboxing pretty much. Like Flatpaks are kind of somewhat useless in, no, it's called Bubble Wrap. Okay, so I was right. Flatpaks are kind of useless in Cubes OS. There is there's a thread on how to do it. But what they generally recommend is to just like SE Linux. AppArmor is more security model like SE Linux. Yeah. Oh yeah, like security policies, like policies. You're confusing stuff. I thought AppArmor was Fire. You're right. I think FireJail. is a SUID program, a SUID, SUID program that reduces the risk of security breaches by restricting the running environments. AppArmor is an Linux security application security system. It's for is a kernel security module. Bubble Wrap is a lightweight sandbox application used by Flatpak and other container tools on Linux. Now I understand. I think I used something similar to run FireJail's Insecure. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've read on it that it's not. It doesn't actually increase security. It makes it worse. It might be better now. I don't know. I don't use it. Bubble Jail tries to fix that problem by not using FireJail sandboxing and using Bubble Wrap. Oh, interesting. That asshole. So it's like Bubble Jail is like the better version of FireJail. Motherfucker.
You need a hero. Here I am. It's nice to see a familiar face.
I got some heavy drops. And Bubble Wrap is superior. Yeah. I can't. When I was using Secure Blue, he should have gotten hit with each. Yo. He's actually hurting himself. That's kind of funny. I used, it was like a Linux container environment with a Secure Blue. Like they, god damn, bro.
Knowledge is meant to be shared.
Yeah, Linux phones are bad. They're, I mean, I love the Pine phone. It's great. It's cool. The novelty.
Now that is an interesting.
Oh my god, yeah. Yo, no, they're probably not good. Are you talking about? Well, I think I know what he's talking about. I mean, in general, it's hard to explain. Like, it's whatever people want to use. I mean, but they should know that a lot of these security phones or featureless phones or dumb phones are probably not secure. Elode is like, I think he might have pronounced it. I think it's IODE, or he might have spelled it right. It's, yeah, E is pretty bad. Don't use it. Yeah, I probably wouldn't. E is pretty bad. Look, if people want to use it, but they should be known, like, aware that it's not good. Like, I remember the Puckett. Like, I saw some YouTubers talk about the Puckett phone, and dude, that was, they use an outdated version. They used where is it? Oh, here we go. The Puckett phone. This uses, they say they use Signal. They say IOTA has some problems, but at least it has verified boot. Oh, IOTA OS. Yeah, I mean, verified boot is nice, but it's, if but the only ASCP fork you should be using is Graphene OS. Yeah, or just use stock Android. Personally, but the Puckett. Hunked phone or something? Yeah, this. Don't ever buy this. This is terrible. Unless there's something similar to Devos S, which there probably won't be, unfortunately. So they talk about how they use Signal. It's called Pigeon. It's so many. It's a ton of. Somebody pulled up the GitHub the repo. They were like 30 pull requests behind. They were like super behind in updates. So you were just using Signal that was probably very insecure. No, you good. Do you remember this, guys? Is the Wayback Machines the Freedom Phone? This is true security right here. Oh my God. Look at this, guys. For $500. Don't use dumb phones. They're highly insecure, most of them. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to use it, just know that SMS is insecure. I love this. The Freedom Phone. Uncensored marketplace. Your own app store. Read what you like. Watch what you like. Think what you like. Nothing is censored. So I can download illegal stuff. I can pirate stuff. Preloaded apps. Some of the most popular banned, unbanned conservative site and apps come preloaded on your device. If it's banned, how did it come preloaded? What happened to this? Mint sucks. Mint does suck. The Freedom Phone still exists. Yeah, $500, buddy. Clear OS. A freedom first. Didn't they fork Graphene? Like, I'm pretty sure they did. They just forked Graphene and made it worse. I'd be embarrassed to ever tell anyone I use this. Clear OS. What? Why would you call something Clear OS? Yeah, iOS OS. My bad, y'all. No, you straight, man. I knew what you're talking about. I just remember coming across it, and I was like, that does not look good. What you guys got to see this one. This one's the funny. Your phone. Oh, I think it is. Oh my God, I'm gonna find it. It was on the that Sean Ryan show. Yeah, remember when Firefox tried to make their own phone? I'm gonna find it. I think it's the U phone unplugged. God, this was an actual shit show. This is the most retarded thing I've ever come across. This isn't a fork of Graphene. No, I think this is a rebranded some random old low quality phone. No, I'm not saying it's a fork of Graphene. I think they forked Graphene OS's operating system. Like they took it and reskinned it. These guys actually stole from DiveOS. Like they stole the where is it? I'm using the word stole. They took this. I'm not talking about like they forked. I'm not saying they forked Graphene OS and made it better. I think they took some of it and brought it over to the Freedom Phone and then reskinned it, if I'm not mistaken. Brave endorsed the unplugged phone. Dude, this is literally dog shit. So where is it? So their apps. This right here. Up VPN, Up Store. What a stupid name, by the way. But by the way, get Spotify and Snapchat. Why would you want Snapchat? That literally another bad one is the Brax phone is bad. I'll fight people on that one. I'm glad someone else says it. It's like get the Up Store on these apps that collect a ton of metadata. Upmail. And introducing Upmail, the ultimate email solution designed exclusively for Up phone, seamlessly integrated to the default email client. No choice. Yes, this antivirus. So they took this antivirus. So first minus it's made. Yeah, no, I'm aware of the Brax phone. I'm aware of Rob Braxman. Dumb phones like the Multida Compact Light Phone 3. Just get, honestly, if you want a dumb phone, just get Graphene OS, put on a stock Android, like a 6A, or a 7A. Braxman website all has fake, and I believe, I can't remember the developer, I can't remember the developer, but he pointed that out to Rob Braxman, and he said that he was crazy or something. He said you're Mark Zuckerberg, like cocksucker or something. It was really funny. I like internet security drama. It's hilarious to me. I'll read all of it. But yeah, they took this antivirus from DiveOS. They like reskinned it because I think he proved it too. The Up Privacy, your all-in-one privacy solution. I was wondering about Brax myself too. I think he just is. I think he's a virtue signaler. He virtue signals. He creates clickbait titles. It causes people to get overly paranoid, and then he sells them a solution. That's all it is. Rob Braxman is my grandpa. Ryan, you are a grandpa. You're like the oldest person here. Besides, if he's still here, my home dog. Where is his name? Elevation. Elevation seems like the other boomer, but it's okay. The problem is people's privacy. The privacy space in YouTube is misguided. I agree with that. I think that it definitely, in NDV's recent video, they endorsed F-Droid, and Graphene OS devs recommend against. I think F-Droid has fixed some of their security things. I don't believe it's this is how I do it. This is my perspective. I do Obtainium, Play Store. Obtainium, a Crescent, Play Store, F-Droid. Because I like free and open source. The Hated One made a similar video, much more improvements. Usage of a Crescent and Obtainium. Yeah. A Crescent and Obtainium are great. I do like, there's some apps on F-Droid that I just like because they're free and open source and they're simple. But the Aurora Star is garbage. I found out about the Aurora Star being garbage a long time ago. Way before even it was I forgot what thread I was on, like a Hacker News thread, and they're like, don't use the Aurora Star, it's terrible. It's an awful idea, and they kind of went over why, and I was like, all right, that makes sense. After it did not fix their main issue, the relatively safe way to access F-Droid is not using the main F-Droid repo, not using the main F-Droid client. I thought they're also the main other problem was app signing. I thought it was something to do with like making sure that you're downloading the actual like software. Send Rob a few dollars on YouTube years ago and called him grandpa due to his wise and great. He is his wise and he got pissed. Sounds about right. Some people can't take criticism or just take a joke. I don't know. People talk shit to me, say shit to me all the time. I keep all the hate comments because they're funny. Because it's the internet. Again, it's the internet. I mean, don't be on the internet if you can't take criticism. The main F-Droid repo does dangerous APK signing, and they also run end-of-life versions. Yeah, a version of Debian. I believe that was F-Droid APK signing in the container that's hosts F-Droid, from what I remember. I thought they fixed it. I could have been wrong. I like Rob. No, you like Ryan. Hardware security manager, special information user. Again, they could be. Isn't that why Tuda? No, who refused to put their app? They took their app off. They took their app off F-Droid for that reason. This is like recent. Yo, I used Iron Fox for a minute. It was kind of cool. I forgot about that. It's in a crescent. Mull is dead. It's slowly dead after falling apart since October. It is now replaced by 2 new Iron Fox. I hate Ryan. True. I hate Ryan too. WireGuard? Yeah, WireGuard. That's what it was. They like left because some shit. What was it? Guard F-Droid problem. Is pulled off F-Droid. WireGuard was removed from F-Droid due to its policy violation regarding the in-app updater, which F-Droid considers too intrusive. The WireGuard developers and F-Droid have different opinions on this policy, leading to the disagreement not resolved. As a result, users can no longer install WireGuard directly from F-Droid. They must update from the official website instead, requiring more trust in the WireGuard developers' infrastructure. Alternative solution includes the WG Tunnel app, which is available on F-Droid. Interesting. Mental no longer does privacy videos anymore. Mostly does news coverage at this point. Yeah, that's true. I mean, he probably makes more money. Shit, I'm still using Mull. Yeah, you should drop Mull. Just if you're using that, go to the Crescent store and get Iron Fox. It's from there, and then you don't have to worry about the updates. Like a Crescent is probably the most, I guess, like easy, user-friendly way to update your app. Make sure your apps are updated, and you can make sure that the app signing is directly from the developers. It's pretty cool. I like it. I use it. I still use F-Droid. I acknowledge the F-Droid problems, but I still use it. You know what I mean? I think when you're aware of the issues, it's not much of an issue. To me, but would I tell like a random person to use F-Droid? Fuck no. I just tell them to use the Google Play Store. Oh, Hacker News. I just tell people to use the Google Play Store and use use the Google Play. A Crescent is the most secure app store, basically. I would say that I'm gonna remove the security based on like just average normie people. I think it's the most user friendly. Like, genuinely. I think it's the most user-friendly store available that we have option. Obtainium's great. I like Obtainium. But also, I'm somewhat technically literate. To a person that's coming over to Graphene OS and they don't want the Google Play Store, okay, cool, thank you. Yeah, not a problem. And they don't want to use the Google Play Store and they just want a Crescent, it's perfect. It makes transferring to Graphene OS much easier. I have tested Iron Fox too, by the way. It's nice. It's cool. It's chill. I'm not a huge Firefox fan, but I like testing. I like testing out software. So I like finding apps and just testing them out. That's what I do like. I do like F-Droid for some reasons. The main F-Droid client as well. Looks old. Yeah. I do like F-Droid because there's cool apps on there and written in Java. Never mind, I hate it. Uninstalling right now. This is just funny. I love this website. How much do you know how much this phone costs too? By the way, it's like $1,000 or something. Yeah. Here, buy should have been written in Kotlin. True. Kotlin enjoyer, Java hater. God, this is crazy. We got to read this together, guys. Best in-class Octa core CPU. Anonymize, encrypt, and shield. Make all your data invisible. No GMS Apple tracking. Which, this makes... You were better off buying a Pixel at that point. You should have been... You definitely are better off buying a Pixel at this point. So, by the way, I ran into someone in the wild that has a Brax.me phone, and I told him that was a mistake, and you should have gotten a Graphene OS device. And he was a boomer, so that's okay. This is a garbage product, but we need to embrace it. It's funny. It's bad because other people have probably bought this and used it. answering on my hubby's account just to get in we are unplugged phone, totally secure and available. Now that sounds so fake. I love these. People are asking for a privacy first smartphone. Guess what? It's already here. Yeah, it's called Graphene OS. It's been here. It was called Copperhouse. Fucking a. That's a bit of a coin. Yeah, fake news website. True. Privacy is a human right. I agree. But libert OS. God, they gotta cut because you can get really close to the word libtard OS because that's what I would call it because it's kind of funny. The encrypted call part I don't understand. So there was a product that came out that I was somewhat skeptical about. Pretty good privacy phone, I think. It's no longer maintained because they realized no one was paying for this. $100 a month. It changes your mobile ID, your IMSI per month. And I think someone pointed out that this product makes no sense because that can consider if you have this constantly change, don't buy anything from Rob, just listen to him. Braxman and a few other people love to spread FUD about Graphene OS. Yeah, because it's made by Google, that's it. I agree that they do like to spread an unreasonable amount of FUD because it's made by Google. Just because, like, this is like kind of like a correlation. I don't know what kind of fallacy it would fall under directly. I can't think of the name, but it's like Google makes products, so don't trust it. Based on what? Can you, like, do you know how to read the code? And I don't think Rob Braxman is completely uneducated. I think he is educated. He might be actually super educated. So fuck all that dumb phone bullshit from Light Phone and shit then. Yeah, you're just going to be buying a product that possibly can't get good update support and using SMS. And SMS is insecure. If you want good end-to-end encrypted conversations, you need to go to Signal or Simple X, which is probably the next best option. Session if you really don't care. Just mean Google Touch doesn't mean it's 100%. Yeah, 100%. That's generally my point. Do I like Google's monopoly? No. Do I like Google's privacy invasive? No. But that doesn't mean that they make insecure products in terms of. I think Google does care about security. They just don't care about privacy, and those are two separate issues. Just like Apple. You're trusting Apple is not selling your data, but they're collecting a lot of it probably for themselves to sell more products to themselves to get you locked into an ecosystem. That doesn't mean Apple is insecure. Google contributes to the Linux kernel. You gonna stop using Linux? No. That'd be stupid. They actually do. I know they contribute a ton to the Linux too, because they rely on it. Linux is runs 80% of the world. You almost can't go into any software space and not touch Google. There's actually software development that uses Google on the back end. I think Firebase, so that it cannot be censored in certain countries where they want to cut off. They would have to cut off Google in order to make this app not work. And certain countries won't do this. So to make it some censorship resistant, some developers will make Google on the back end to be super reliant because it would be impossible to censor their app or make it difficult to work to block. Not that that it's end all be all, but that is, it makes sense why that strategy works. You would have to block the Google domain in order to make this app not work. If you do that, then if your country relies anywhere on it, then you're fucked. So it's kind of like email. Email is decentralized. Email is not super secure. I think there are better, more secure emails out there and better privacy respecting ones, but in a sense, email is somewhat decentralized. It's not like a dead project. Copperhead OS is still exists. I didn't know it still exists. I know the drama behind it. I didn't know it was still being maintained though. I never used it. I know the drama behind it, but I didn't know it was still maintained though. That's crazy. Wow. What does it work on? It's just some guy trying to take over Copperhead a while back, and Daniel McKay burned the keys and backdoors. They're making backdoors, and then Graphene OS started. Oh. Oh, when they were making backdoor, they were making backdoors. Number one phone, graphene phone, is the Pixel, and Google and the OS both start with G. They're making backdoors, probably. It's probably true, Ryan. I think you're onto something. You should start your own channel just based on that. Just virtue signal people. I know it was Daniel McKay forked from Copperhead. Your brand, your logo, your theme. Create tailored experience. So I can put CumOS. What would be the price to do this? The Android boot process. How does the Android boot process work? Boot ROM, bootloader, kernel, init, daemons. I saw a video on it. Copperhead is what works on a Pixel. If I remember correctly, I saw. If I have a Pixel 6 laying around. If I can, I have to email for them a demo. Fuck that. That's unbased. Currently supported on the Pixel 4a. Ryan and retard both start with R2. True. Of the top of the line mobile security, protected from 0 days and exploits. Anytime somebody says this, I'm immediately like somewhat skeptical. It seems kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It seems kind of virtue signaling. Security centric. Now, like, you can say something high level, like it's kind of like the word military grade encryption. I found out this, by the way. Military grade encryption. You can't mysteriously beat a 0 day. Yeah, of course. You don't know the 0 day works. You don't know about a 0 day. That's the point of it. It's called a 0 day. It's unknown. It's like, oh shit, they found it. And we didn't. Fun fact though, military grade, anything that's military grade, that means it just passes for the military. It doesn't mean it's a high standard. It means the military is good enough to use it. Well, -1 day is the hardest, aka programmers. That's because Ryan secretly is a Java developer. He's a JavaScript enjoyer too. The most unfree and most unfree programming language. JavaScript hater. You can't mysteriously beat it. How do you beat an unknown exploit? Literally. That's a good question. Maybe you should ask Copperhead OS. You know what? Also, I think the unplug phone, the up phone, used to work with Pegasus. I think he was a member of the Pegasus, like, the upphone developer. Eric has been criticized for marketing claims associated with developer and its association with the developer of Pegasus spyware. Prince, known as the phone for the founding of the notorious private military firm Blackwater, promotes the upphone as a secure privacy device. However, the phone's operating system is Liberty's proprietary version of Google's Android. Cringe, by the way. The upphone is proprietary. Its security claims been met with skepticism. Has been linked to the creator of Pegasus spyware, which has it explains what happened. What does? I just remember just remember hearing about that. I was like very like why would you trust this phone at all? But how do you know? How do you beat an unknown exploit? It explains what happened. I'm confused on that part. Source code is essentially for user autonomy. This is not open source, guys. This is source available. And free proprietary service. Use alternative to Google app services like F-Droid. Source available and free of proprietary services. Firewall and network hardening. The data. Oh. Alavestia is the best search engine ever. The Danny McKay thing. Oh, source code is essentially for user autonomy. Just read the Copperhead Wikipedia. Oh. Look. You know what? I don't know why Android no Copperhead is closed source. Oh, I figured. It wouldn't surprise me. You know what's funny? I don't know why Android phone vendors don't give the access to the network, built-in network firewall. The fuck? I can't spell. There we go. I need to capitalize OS. Let's learn a little stuff, guys. Let's read. I'm gonna stretch and grab a beer. Okay. Let's see. What does Wikipedia say? It's closed source, guys. Never mind. What up, Sean Glass? Yeah, there's a lot of dots right there. M is in Mary. Copperhead is a mobile operating system for smartphones based on the Android mobile platform. It adds privacy and security features to the official release of Android open source project. You can't spell. I can't read. Blah, 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 blah. True. My thing is, like, I'm open source. I like open source software for me. Does that mean closed source software is bad or proprietary software is bad? Not necessarily. Not everyone has to conform to my ideas or the way I view life. But I would never use this just based on that. Does that mean it's a bad product? No. Does that mean it sucks? No. Does that mean it's malicious? No. Those are like kind of insane, silly claims. But I will admit that I do not trust. Oh, I can't spell copper. That's why I'm really retarded. Ryan, you are right. I can't spell, and you probably can't read. But this is interesting. I've never heard about this, by the way. When, oh man, the picture brings back memories of old Android. I actually loved this. This was my favorite era of Android. I loved the way this Android looked. Sometimes I come across old Android phones, and I'm just like, wow, I love this. This looks beautiful. They need to bring this back. Very boxy, very nostalgic, very chill. I like show you uses Git or code you wrote. True. Actually, I use I vibe code, man. I'm a vibe coder. All right, we're gonna read. Android source project by Google. Copperhead OS is developed by Copperhead and a Canadian information security company. Wow, Canadian, and it's closed source. Not surprised. It's not in Freedom Town. Its license is under a Creative Commons by NC-SA 4.0, although its source code is not available for public download. Copperhead OS supports smartphones in the Google Pixel product line. Other devices are not targeted in order to preserve the resources for development team. It has several security features not found in stock Android, such as hardware, hardened version of the Linux kernel, and the ability to use separate passwords for unlocking the device. for encryption. Rather than using Google Play Store, found most on Android devices, CopperOS ships with F-Droid Store in order to reduce the risk of users installing malicious apps. If you want to just skip to the Daniel McKay thing, go to that section. But I'm learning, man. This is the learning channel. Oh, you know what's funny too? Graphinos was made by in Canada too. You know, I know Daniel McKay's Canadian. He's not Canadian nice though. Fun fact though, not fun, really fun fact, but interesting fact about that. Where is it? Oh, at this point, the project was based on the CryOgen mod is a discontinued open source project operating system for mobile devices based on Android mobile platform. Oh, nice. It was free and open source software based on the official release of Google. I forgot about that. I remember the Nexus. It was manufactured by Huawei. That's crazy. TLC, Total Learning, the Total Learning channel. Yeah, this is the learning channel, guys. License, oh shitty. Oh shit, yeah. This is some nostalgia right here. Some deep nostalgia. License and change departure of Daniel McKay. From October 16th, for versions of CopperOS based on Android 7 Nougat, my favorite, by the way. Nougat was my favorite, and just the word. I don't even like Nougat, by the way, but I just like the word, and I liked Android 7, and I liked Oreo, which was 8. Lineage OS is a fork of, oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of interesting. Lineage sucks, though. I've never seen the appeal of it. I remember someone telling me about it, and I looked into it, and I was like, that's just looks awful. The worst crime I ever committed is I somewhat liked Calyx OS. I liked how clean it was. I know they're not the best, but I did like it, and I hope they strive to get better. I hope Calyx OS gets better and strives to get better, because I want competition. I don't want just it to be the one thing. To a certain degree, I want people to have freedom and choice at the end of the day. But I would definitely be against promoting insecure products that actually don't achieve anything at the end of it. If like Lineage OS X, only use it if you have an end of life phone. I would use Lineage. I don't know. I wouldn't even do that. I would just, I guess. What was it? Oh God, was it? It was like Blue Android or something. It was like a weird Android that allowed people to update to like Android 13 that couldn't. It's like a weird. It was weird. It was cool though. I came across it on some random channel. But from October 16th, for versions of CopperOS based on Android 7 Nougat, my favorite one, fight me on it. Copperhead changed the CopperOS license to the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike. Wow, that's a lot of words. According to Donaldson, this was to prevent other companies from using the CopperOS code without paying Copper for a license in order to keep the project sustainable. I guess fair. I mean, you like Oreo, aka sellout name version. Oreo's just the best one, man. Next to Nougat. Copperhead began selling Google Pixel phones preloaded with CopperOS in March 2017. In addition to the lineup of the Nexus phones, for Nexus devices, users could download and install CopperOS for free. However, this option was not made available for Pixel phones. For Pixel phones, users could either buy a phone from CopperOS store with CopperOS pre-installed, which I would not trust, by the way. Oreos are vegan, by the way. Preloaded, or send their own phone to CopperOS for the operating system to be installed, which I would not do, personally. This was done to prevent the violations of CopperOS's non-commercial license. Copperhead competitors had been selling Nexus phones with CopperOS installed without obtaining commercial license. The Copperhead wanted to avoid this issue with Pixel. The issue came ahead in November the same year, when Copperhead briefly shut down the update server for Nexus devices in order to stop the continued license violations. The company restored the update after 2 days. Copperhead released an alpha version of Copperhead OS for the Pixel 2, 2 XL in January 2018. I almost bought a 3, by the way. I was very close. I almost bought a Pixel, I think 3 or 3 XL, because I really wanted a Google phone for some reason, and I just never did up until the 6 came out. And there's a whole story behind that, but whatever. I'm learning. XL in January of 2018. The official release for Pixel 2 and 2 XL were marked as for internal use and could not be downloaded from the Copperhead website without authentication. This maintained the status quo of only Nexus release being available for public download. What do you think of Open Mocha phone? I had one. Open Mocha phone? I've never heard of it. There's a lot of phones I've never come across. The weirdest phone I had too was the chocolate. Does anyone remember the chocolate? The chocolate phone? It was an MP3 player phone. And I had a friend of mine that was very close to me. Not very close, but I had a friend growing up that had the Jukes phone. It was like a jukebox. It was like that MP3 player phone. It was very weird. It looked like a stick. This was it. Everyone made fun of her because it was literally the worst thing to type on. I remember this. I remember how terrible that was. Some straight nostalgia, by the way. 2004. God, yeah. Only hot bitches do this. Okay, back to drama. Nostalgia over, drama back. Disagreements between disagreements between the two founders over business policy became increasingly heated over the first few months in 2018 and led to Donaldson firing McKay in June of that year. McKay responded by posting his dismal on Reddit. Is it in the Wayback Machine? Oh. Thought it was going to leak me to... that'd be cool. Whatever. No, did I do the thing? Okay. By deleting the cryptographic keys necessary to release the updates for the project, McKay said that he considered the company and infrastructure to be compromised, and that he would prevent Donaldson from harming any users. Copperhead failed to provide Copperhead OS updates for several months afterwards. McKay continued the development of an open source parts of Copperhead OS as the Android hardening project, which would later be branded Graphene OS. According to Donaldson, as of February 19, he and McKay were in a legal dispute over the incident. I wonder why he called it Graphene OS. I want to read more lore on Daniel McKay. Honestly, a very smart, forward-thinking type of perspective. Open Mocha, one of the first open source phones. Open Mocha. Because for Android to be out this long and Pixel devices, just in general, and no one think of this like even as a selling point is kind of crazy. OpenMocha is a simple ERP software written in Java. Never mind, you lost me. JSP and JSC to manage the small company. You can create invoicing. Interesting. Oh, Open Mocha. I did go down a weird rabbit hole of very strange. If you want to meme Android, Fork, you should look at Replicant. I got Glowjoy to work on my Pine phone. Oh, I think I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the red one. I came across this. I was looking up weird. You know what? You can middle click to open a new tab. What do you mean? Oh, you're talking about that? No. I only open tabs with my keyboard. I actually don't have a mouse. What you're seeing is an illusion and not real. Yeah, I forgot about this. Dude, I had an HTC. HTC, no matter what anyone says, goated. Most goated company ever. I really wish they stuck around. Wow, the last release was only 2 years ago. That's kind of impressive. It lasted 15 years. Let's be real. That's pretty impressive. This is approved by GNU. Good. GNU, the GNU Foundation is they should embrace this. I believe I remember that's how I found it. I probably was on the Freedom Software Foundation website, and they're like, "You should use this." I mean, the Freedom Software Foundation are pretty extreme on their principles. I can appreciate it. I can even respect it. They're very extreme on their principles. This is why Cubes OS has not been approved by the GNU Foundation as operating, because technically Cubes is not an operating system; it's a hypervisor. But whatever. I mean, semantics. And it uses end-of-life version of Android. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm very aware of this. I'm editing Wikipedia right now. I'm editing Wikipedia right now to match me needs to control you. They're like developing a version for Android 11 and above, but blobbing it. And it's probably going to take a lot of time. Huh? That's interesting. I'm assuming, yeah, that would take a lot of time. I mean, Android is probably a huge code base by now. And getting stuff to work. It's probably huge still. I mean, wow. It's going to be larger than the Linux code due to its extensive range of functionalities. For instance, downloading the Android source code can exceed 15 gigs, while the Linux source code is much smaller, typically around 21. This size can further increase during the build process. I think I remember, yeah, like reading that. And are the same person? If you guys are the same person, that'd be really funny if you had two different accounts. Outside Replicant, you are still going to deal with the closed source bootloaders and firmware, etc. Yeah, it's very actually... it's very hard to get everything to be completely open source. HDMI is proprietary, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and closed sourced. There's a lot of firmware and for like different functions of like computers that's proprietary, owned, closed sourced. I mean, these companies want to protect it because that's probably how they make their money. I thought about running Trinsquil. It's like the freer version of, what do you call it? It's the freer version of Ubuntu or something. It's interesting. The Replicant team is trying to get like Libre firmware and Libre bootloaders. That's cool. And I mean, more power to them. I think it's awesome. I like seeing like stuff like this. I mean, personally, is there a way they could make it more secure and better? Sure, maybe. I don't know. But I think it's awesome that like there's a team that's actively doing something. Whoa, Android has Rust in it? Based. But it's like they're basically dead. The new team basically forgot about Android. I'm assuming that it's, I mean, they have limited funding, time. They got to get devices. They probably got to think. This is why like it's actually, you shouldn't use Libre distros. Shouldn't and wouldn't. I mean, it depends on your threat model. I think your threat model, if security is above all, then yeah, of course not. But if you just care about freedom and you just want to use a Libre distro to surf the internet and jerk off to porn, that's fine. I think it's okay. If somebody asked me it was good, as a daily driver, they don't have CPU microcode. If you're gonna use one SUSE GUIX and enable the non-GUIX repos. Yeah, I mean, like, I think daily drive is subjective, and it depends what you daily drive. I mean, does Richard Stallman probably? He probably. I think there's that Richard Stallman. Oh, this is like one of my favorite Richard Stallman memes. Of course, Andre has rest in it. It's old. What do you think happens to iron? It's backed by my favorite government sponsored. What is it? I've never installed Ubuntu. Richard Stallman. The most crackpot Linux distro I've ever seen is Hyperbola. Yeah. Oh, I'm aware of about Hyperbola.
And the other thing is that a beginner shouldn't be installing operating systems. Go to a user group and find someone who loves installing the system to help you.
This is great.
I've never installed GNU/Linux. I never saw a point in learning how. There was always someone I could ask to do it for me who already knew how and who wouldn't make any mistakes.
That's the best Richard Stallman video ever. Straight up. Can you please delete this for me? Stallman doesn't own a computer. He sometimes visits people's houses to use their own computer. I remember actually, what is it? Is it PureOS GNU? I think it's PureOS. Yeah, these cucks. These guys suck. Remember that phone that they took forever to sell people? That was really bad. Like, it took years to deliver. And it was a shit show. I even found YouTubers that I just load Emacs directly into the memory and never turn off my machine. He installs GNU Emacs. True. He's never had any needs since he communicates directly to the hardware with his fingers on his 1 and 0 buttons. And I mean, like, my general take is, like, I like free software. I like free and open source software. Security is like my laptop Purism hardware costs a lot of money. A lot of money for not so good. Hyperbola thinks Rust violates freedoms. I hate them now. I'm against them. Yo, BDS Jedi. That's kind of funny. Like, I don't own a computer either. Dumb terminal, fuck the world. Like, they didn't think that this obscure browser called Bolskix was obscured enough, so they forked it to remove the blow from it. It's awesome. That's awesome. That's even funny. They don't even have dbus. They just don't have a system D. They don't have dbus. They don't have system D. They don't have Wayland. They don't have Rust. They don't have Java. And they don't have Python. And then they don't have... That's awesome. You're actually selling this to me now? Just give me a terminal, guys. GNU/Linux. There's more wisdom in the statement than most people realize. Stop wasting time learning unproductive things. It's true. Just have other people install Linux for you. He never installed Linux. First he used GNU. I actually hate Debian. I'm a Debian hater. Really makes your synopsis fire of the calculated integrals with the vast majority of people do not install operating systems on their computers, so if Linux is to catch on. I agree with this statement. Fuck for the win. Fuck the world. So I agree with this statement, but also disagree with this statement. They don't have Firefox or Chromium. Well, I only use Chrome. I only use my browser from the term. What you're looking at isn't real. This is fake. What is that browser from the terminal? I used to use this a lot, actually. And I guess what? And guess what? Hyperbola is moving to OpenBSD. Nice, finally. OpenBSD love. What was that? There was a. I hate this website, by the way. These are like a bunch of cucks. Their website is bloated. Truly. Warp, by the way, dog shit fucking terminal. I used it. I got cancer using it. And fuck the people that made it. Links. Oh, Links. Links is yet another open source command line browser, which you can try. Fortunately, more websites tend to work when using Links, so I'd say it's definitely better than Aspect. Okay. How about Links 2? Are you a Links 2 user? E-Links? E-Links is similar to Links 2, but no longer made. Aw, man. You know what I wish? This is what I wish took off and became prevalent. No, not this. Wrong one. Debian / has had distro that was 1 megabyte that you could boot and install the whole OS from back in the day. I'm still a Debian hater because he has a wife, and Linux users aren't supposed to have wives. Gemini capsule sites. It's like Gopher. It was like Gopher. No uses, no PHP, no RetroArch. Doesn't have Node.js based. Doesn't have Mono. Doesn't have NPM based. NPM is just a bunch of viruses. Doesn't have Flatpak, not based. Doesn't have Qt web engine, cringe. Doesn't have YouTube DPL, fine, that's okay. Doesn't have Electron. I'm an Electron hater, so it doesn't matter. And doesn't have fucking Go. Good, because Go looks like it was developed by Google. Doesn't Go Google developed Go. Yeah. No, they didn't. They did COBOL, right? COBOL? No, it was Google. Yeah, I was right. I can't have a wife, then what are you? VLC? Okay, never mind. I'm back to being a Go is fine. I'm being hyperbolic. But it's not Rust though. Go is actually good. I know a tiny amount because I needed to write something in Go for some stupid reason. And Hyperbola has their own browser, Iceweasel. I don't like that. That's a stupid name. But the fact that they're VLC haters, I'm out. I'm a VSL enjoyer. Dude, the guy for VLC could have. Didn't he like? He got like an insane offer to get bought out to put ads in it or something. He's like, no, like I'm good. Like the guy that made VLC was like, he could have monetized the shit out of that, or put a backdoor into it, or snuck ads. He's like, nah, I'm good. Unlike Audacity, who got bought out by probably a terrible company. If you let go, what about Oogle? That's a good question, Ryan. Maybe Iceweasel was originally created by Debian. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm just not a fan of Debian. I don't know why. I just hate it. I've just never had a good due to some trademark violation with Mozilla. Oh, I probably. Actually, I'm like, Mozilla's getting up there for the hate too, from all the shit they're doing. That I'm just not a fan of. But like they're a company, so like I assumed like eventually this was gonna happen. Like all this, I found this distro similar to Secure Blue, but it's based off Void Linux instead of Fedora. Oh, nice. That I'm interested in. What's it called? That sounds actually kind of cool. I actually like Void. Gaming on it was a bitch though for me to get working. There were some issues I was running into that I was not a fan of, so I dropped it. But I ran Void for a little bit. Going to pass out, buddy. Feel free to run me over. I will, Ryan. Fuck you. Go to sleep. You unemployed friend. Plague OS. Okay, base name by the way. But why isn't it on? Why isn't Plague OS on distro? What is it? Distro Wars? Am I spelling that wrong? The repo is a bit hard to find, but I found it. Oh, is it on GitLab? I can always find it. Added open SSL to pre-install. Nice. Hardened Void. Musel. Build a aim mitigating class of exploit. Yeah, Musel's cool. Muscle. Oh god, the light mode. I need to. Ooh. Come on, somebody give me dark mode. Oh man, the light mode's hurting. Plague OS. The origin comes from the idea of Project GNU, from the project GNU GNU/Linux security revival that has been long overdue. As the project description states, this was created to address the class exploitation and plague standards of Linux systems. Fair. We should note that a secure baseline of Void Linux rather than a standalone OS. We have no self-hosted architecture, nor do we have our own custom repositories. This can be useful for blending with the Void community at large, along with keeping down cost. Is Plague OS for you? If you want a hardened cost host configure GNU Linux that is designed for operating all processes from the guest virtual machine, VMs, this design is for a use case. For more detailed projects, see the wiki. Okay. Oh, they have a matrix chat? I'm going to join that later. Hardened Void and Muso. That'd be super funny if that's how I just looked it up. Plague OS is not associated with the Tor project or Unix. This is not developed by an organization. This is a passion project created and maintained by few Linux enthusiasts. The OS is not resistant to all forms of exploitation. Obviously, there nothing is. There is shortcomings inherent to the modern desktop environment that we are attempting to mitigate. The OS is designed to run in a KVM as a minimalist hypervisor with security-centric virtual machines. Guest from Vert Module. Unix and Kick Secure can be implicated and validated during the installation script, and any other guests will be manual endeavor. There are two users by default, admin and user. All updates and upgrades and packages are installed. Perhaps KeePass, XC, and ZulaCrypt must be installed by the admin account. All daily activities could be conducted by unprivileged user accounts. This is why something that a lot of people forget. The problem with Linux is like a lot of people don't set up a guest user account. They run everything as root, and they do run everything as like the admin, which from a security standpoint is dog shit. Personally, especially if you don't know what you're doing. This is why I always make the claim that if you hand someone who's slightly educated on good security hygiene a Windows machine versus an uneducated, Linux user, you could have two drastically worse outcomes for the Linux user than you would have a person that's running Windows, even with its privacy problems. Files and folder permissions. By default, Plague OS has a strong permission set. This means that newly created files will be unaccessible by the user, the account, and potentially other applications. The permissions of files and folders can be checked by navigation to the directory, tapping ls, tac la. Nice, my favorite command that I use all the time. Inside the terminal console, the output means R, read, W, write, X, execute. And to change the permission of these files, type the chmod command inside the terminal as admin. See its value file folder, plenty of sites that can help you understand how chmod works. Yeah, of course. Search chmod calculator with your preference search engine. Really? Wow, there's a chmod calculator. Interesting. Mounting USB devices is present in as are commonly known attack vectors. To allow a USB device to be mounted, you must run USB SIL to unprotect, connect the device. That's nice. By default, the packages OpenVPN and WireGuard are not present on the host. If a VPN is desired, these packages are custom wrappers from stores. Tor can be configured during the installation to be leveraged for all packages, updates, installations. Note, not all traffic is routed through Tor, and software is based on routing solutions. Limitations, I think it's baby steps. Do not. This project is still in infancy and bugs. Huh. How do I install this? Can I install this in a VM? It's important to note that zero trust model, since it's an impossible feat, should be known that where trust is given. Hardware, CPU, malicious integrated chipsets. Yeah, I think a lot of people forget that hardware security is probably just, if not most important, towards software. I mean, like if you have secure software and you put it in insecure hardware, you kind of defeated the purpose. You did nothing. You actually probably made it worse because you think you're secure. There's nothing worse than a false sense of security, in my opinion, where you think you're more secure than you're not. Distribution void Linux, plagues, OS script installed, Linux hardened kernel, GNOME core optional, Graphenous hard malloc, guest OS of choice, varying of security restrictions controlled by the VM user, kick secure Unix. Kick secure would be probably the only Debian based. I did use kick secure quite often when I was just digging around. Would probably be the only Debian based Linux distro that I would use personally. Yeah, if you're using old IBM ThinkPad with a hardened Linux system, you're still going to be insecure. Oh, 100%. If you have a hardened system and you have, yeah, if you have I treat it like a lock. You can have a million locks on your bike, but if you have a weak chain, then you essentially defeated the purpose. Your lock isn't the point. Now, I do go by, I guess, I think I take security in the theory of this. I try to be the most annoying person. Not that this is perfect, not that is automatic, but I try to be an inconvenience to a person that's trying to exploit my system versus someone who isn't. A lot of people do, like, I treat it like a bike lock. $20 bike, $100 lock. I'm not going to do all this work for a little payoff. Obviously, most hackers and exploits are agnostic and they look at, oh, it's just a person, I don't care. But generally, when you have to put in twice the amount of work for maybe little to no payoff, when there's low-hanging fruit out there, you're going to pick the low-hanging fruit 9 times out of 10. Now, obviously, updating your firmware, your patching, your software security, etc. is most important. But I think that is something that is, to put into account. Hackers can be lazy. Not that like all of it's people interaction. A lot of hackers are probably like bot. It's probably a lot of it's bots and like, automation. But I'm assuming there does come some credibility of, oh, this is more complicated to do, so maybe I'll put a little bit less time in it. But kick secure is nice. I liked it. I like Unix a little bit better, personally, but I think even what isn't Unix like based on kick secure? We're wrong. think I'm wrong on that one. I know Debian. Oh, it is. It's reconfigured of the Debian. It's a reconfigure, yeah. Which runs inside of multiple virtual machine. Okay. So it wasn't crazy. I thought they were correlated for some reason. It is. Okay, yeah, no, I don't know, it's a lot of information, man. You gotta like keep in your brain. Let me read more of this. It's always designed to run as a hypervisor and launch guest virtual machines. They also designed to be minimal build and restricted. The guests are to launch virtual manager. Run Virt Manager either by opening a terminal and running command Virt Manager or by opening in via its GUI. During the installation, there's an option to download and import 6 Secure, which is the ClearNet baseline of Unix for day-to-day activities. If the Torified version of Kicksecure Unix is chosen, you must both boot Unix Gateway and Unix. It seems like a lot of resources. This is very cool, though. Plague OS. Very interesting name, too. But it hasn't been touched in 8 months. I mean, that's a little concerning. I know it probably takes a lot longer time. But maybe it's not one of those things that is being... I know it's like a... Look at the checklist. You mean plan? Oh, goals. I don't know if those are actually checked off. Huh. What gives us the checklist that's already done? Oh, wow. They're using doas versus sudo? Based. I'm already sold. The less bloated version of sudo. Oh, those are checked off. I just see white, so I assume that. Random, not all of them, just fucking light mode. Yeah, fuck light mode, for real. How can I dark mode this? Appearance. Dark mode should be automatic. Honestly, we should get rid of light mode completely. There's no use for it. No. My eyes burn. Do as a reduced tack surface compared to... Yeah, of course. It is less blow. I'm a do as enjoyer. But run O is the future. Oh, I need to see this. Yeah, whatever. God, that was really killing my eyes. I don't know how long. I don't know how I made it. Run O or run zero? Is it run zero? Is that 0? Free desktop. Let's see. Run 0 may be used as a temporary and interactively elevated different privileges is similar to purposes sudo, but it operates differently in a couple key areas. No extension or security context credentials are inherently from the caller into the invoke command as they're involved from a fresh isolated service worked off by the service manager. That's kind of cool. Authenticates via pull kit do as and sudo both use suid binary. Oh yeah. Which obviously, yeah, that could. I think SUID is a lot of Linux like security problems. I believe, like it's thus isolating the authentication problem from the terminal if possible. Nice. An independent sudo tty is allocated for the invoke command, detaching its lifecycle and isolating for security. No set UIDs, set GIDs files access bit functionality is used for the implementation. Altogether, this should provide a safer, more robust alternative to the SUID mechanism, in particular in an OS environment where SUID set support is not available. For example, by setting the now new privilege variable in system conf. Note that runo is implemented as an alternative when runo is a symbolic link to systemd running sudo files. That's not a Linux problem, but that's more of a general. Yeah, I'm assuming that like it's a issue in general. Set user ID programs are persistent because they allow users to execute files with the permissions of the file's owners rather than their own, which can lead to privilege escalation if vulnerabilities exist in the program. For example, if a suid program is writable by any user, it can be modified or granted. Oh yeah. I assumed that was the problem. Like it's a permission. It's always I think it's a permission set problem. I think that's the biggest problem in Linux is like the unprivileged amount of access that it has from like people just doing stuff. On OpenBSD, do as is more effective. I'm still an OpenBSD enjoyer because it's a bloatfish, but I hear gaming is pretty bad. I mean, gaming creates a lot of insecurities. They don't support Steam, eh? Based. Okay, guys, let's do learning time and read. Oh, I've read that. The Medadian insecurities. That article, from what I understand, is kind of old though. There are some outdated. Like some stuff is probably outdated by now. I mean, if it's from 2020. But I do like its approach because there is a Linux compat layer on FreeBSD. Yeah, I think because they allow compatibility. OpenBSD is like no non-free software. Doom, a class. Oh, I can play Doom. I'm good. Never mind. Then PriveSec article. I've read PriveSec dev. That's Tommy. I think Tommy Tran. I believe that's who it is. Fake news. Shut up, Ryan. You said you were going to bed. He has a lot of. I don't know what happened to Medadian. Genuinely, he made one last comment released, and then some bromite issue, and then went silent. I believe. They give good, solid advice. I think some of it's outdated by now. It has to be. Security and privacy is constantly shifting. But I think that if you wanted really like just what's the word? Shell? I'm out. Man, you're really bad at spelling. Fuck you. I never said it was good. and I've been drinking. You don't even have an apostrophe in your bro. Where's your period? I read this like maybe last year. I'm sleepy / are really, really drunk. Will not remember this like my dream. True. I read this because someone pointed. I have read quite a lot of privacy websites. Some are sane, some are insane. Yeah, actually, this is my absolute favorite. I think I have to pop up Tor for this one. I mean, security is such a huge field and a very broad thing. Do I think that PriveSaf Dev is more correct than anyone else, or the security guard hardening guide, all these hardening guides? Sure. It depends. It depends. Threat modeling, I think, is the most in my opinion, threat modeling is the most reasonable approach. If I have something that gets hacked and I have no personal identifiable information in it, I have no secure information on it. Not that I agree that you should just do this, but to me, it wouldn't bother me as much. Oh boy, I thought it was going to be there's going to be dig deeper for a second. I'm about to dig deep. I think it's called tin foil hat. Tinfoil hat. Oh, God, light mode. There was this darknet this darknet blog where he talks about TalOFS, which is a distributed file system. It's very cool. I don't think I'm ever gonna find this again. You're searching in the clear. I know I'm searching in the ClearNet. I need to find it. Oh God, I'm never gonna find it. I need to find it and then find he has a Tor, just an Onion site. I can't remember the Onion site. But it's kind of like, this is like one of those articles I found. So back to that PGPP, the pretty good phone privacy guy. That's one of the insane privacy websites. I think he has he has like a couple rational takes. Tallow, like the distributed file system is kind of cool. I mean, they're the least authoritative kind of like, I like decentralized services. I don't like centralized services to a certain degree. As long as they incorporate encryption properly, and I mean, peer-to-peer has some issues, but it's site, just read dig deeper. No. I didn't know that was a website. I will. Me, yeah, so we're best friends until I see him using quarters in a payphone instead of a Redbox. That's where I get my porn from. Little known hack. You don't need an OnlyFans subscription. Redbox was always there. Hey, I was just using a payphone. This is probably just Ryan talking to himself. I got to see when this channel was created and when Ryan's was. I'm going to find some correlation. Dig deeper. Damn it. We can see the sheer insanity by looking at the articles and T software they suggest. Oh. Necrocities? Oh, damn it. I just had it. Dark mode. Tor needs to figure out how to fucking get dark mode working. Please. Please, Tor Foundation, if you're listening. If you ever come across this, please get dark mode. And if you ever do, I'll come back and... Sorry, Boomer Talk. Okay, can you use start page at this point? For real. I'm a start page hater, by the way. Or like something like CRXNG. Ooh, the onion version? Never mind, start page enjoyer. Start page. Oh, okay. Oh my god. This is great. I love this. My friend needs to pay a lawyer to help get out of the missed nursing home where he's imprisoned. If you're interested in donating, I should do a dark mode versus light mode are equal in 2025. Dark mode only. Every developer should be paid on their ability to incorporate dark mode. But the problem is dark mode. If I know, like, if you use dark mode on websites, it technically defeats the purpose of fingerprints you because it can fingerprint you, so it's pointless to put it on. It fingerprints you because it makes you look unique because it's actively changing the websites, but it's fine. How to choose a browser for everyday use. Lifting the veil. How to test browsers for spyware. Dark mode is good for the eyes. Yeah, but it's bad for the I guess the OPSEC. I'm glad this guy's website is in permanent dark mode. My thing is, from my somewhat understanding, is a lot of these browser tests that test for like fingerprinting, it's just not possible for them to be accurate because everyone's gonna have something different. Light mode is bad for the eyes. It should be illegal. Actually, if we could illegalize anything, it would be light mode. But browser fingerprinting only benefits from one thing. Everyone having the same browser, everyone actively looking the same on the browser end. This is what makes Tor browser, quote unquote, better. But the second people start changing the screen resolution and XYZ, fingerprinting is very hard to actually thwart against. It's not like an easy thing. But back to my point, like this article that I'm never going to find again, which was really intuitive. It pointed out that websites like to cover your tracks cannot accurately test your fingerprint. Yeah, of course they can't, because everyone's browser is different. You're going to have a different experience. Everyone adjusts things to differently in mobile browser too. Yeah, you're right. They're actively, they're kind of being, I would say, facetious. I wouldn't say facetious. I don't think they're being shady or anything. I think they're just, fingerprinting's complicated. Everyone has to have the same browser. That's the only way it works, because then everyone looks the same. You can't track people if they all look the same. I mean, it's the simplest way to do it, but that's very hard to achieve. So I think there's rational approaches to thwart fingerprinting, But the point was, someone point. Okay, guys, now we can read the articles. Hold on, I'm doing my soapbox moment. There was a lady that this security researcher, she like works in like I think like the telecom industry, like 5G networks, and she pointed out pretty good phone privacy, changing there are so many metrics, and yeah, of course, changing your IMEI or your IMSI every fucking day or once a month would make you look unique. It would throw red flags. Like Brave browser can defeat some of the basic fingerprinting. Yeah, and remember when they had the strict fingerprinting, like the very strict setting, and they got rid of it, and people were pissed, but they realized that no one used it, but it was previously defeated. I think fingerprint, like my general advice for most people is use a secure browser, use strong passwords, like a password manager, and delete cookies if you can, because it's just annoying. It becomes annoying. Like my browser, when I wipe out, it deletes all my data, it clears everything. That's what bookmarks are for. That's all it is. And that's really just from a security standpoint, because if your browser gets hijacked, you don't want them to get access to those cookies. If you don't update your browser, and then there's some additional features that I turn on and off that maybe protect my privacy and perspective. That's all. I mean, I take a reasonable approach to security and privacy. I try to not link my identities, but this is why I have different browsers for different things, and why I run CubesOS. CubesOS makes the compartmentalization much easier. But welcome to the Dig Deeper. God, this website, bro. It looks like 2005. Contact info. My friend needs to pay for a lawyer to help him get out of the nursing home where he's imprisoned. If you're interested, donate. I really need to make my own website like this. Not an FBI honeypot. Software article. How to choose a browser. Let's do this one. Wow, this guy is. Chromium browsers store the cookies encrypted. I believe they're encrypted, but didn't Linus isn't that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how Linus Tech Tip got hijacked. Was due to something with cookies. Even if it's encrypted, I'm assuming. I believe I've came across this website. I'm assuming there's a way to exploit it. Obviously, every browser is exploitable, but I don't know. I just all I do, and what's convenient for me is I self-host my own browser bookmark service, and I just wipe everything when I leave, like my browser, so no one can know that I'm on Pornhub in public. Oh. This is interesting. I need to stretch and grab a beer, and then we're going to read this. Does anyone else here self-host their own book browser? No, my own bookmark service. Like my own, where I get all my, I have all my bookmarks on a self-hosted server. It's just convenient for me because I distro hop so much that it would be a nightmare to remember every self-hosted. I have a ton of self-hosted services, and I also have a ton of websites that I bookmark. You know how much of a nightmare that would be? And I don't trust these websites. I don't want to log into a browser and give them my information and have it synced. I don't care. You know, I just like to self-host everything myself because I trust myself, you know. If there's ever a breach, I'd be very fucked because it'd be coming from me. So that's just my approach. And personally, you can self-host, I think, Firefox too, if you want the syncing feature. And then for a while, I self-hosted Chasm, which is like its own like sandbox, like kind of like environment for going on the internet, like browser sandbox. Each person can have their own profile. It's kind of cool. Is it secure? Sure. It probably is more secure because everything's done on my server. It's separated my machine, so, you know. An absolutely insane project from a single guy. The amount of adrenaline. Wow, this guy has a lot of time to write, by the way. There's a lot of writing. I hope this is over like years. I need to stretch real quick. Okay. The website's 7 years plus. Okay. I mean, I personally like self-hosting everything. I'm spending like the next like year getting away from as much Google product as I can and reliance on them. But yes, let's welcome to the dig deeper. I hate people like this. They say they do their own research, but they're really just gathering articles from other people. Oh, RSS, never mind based. Essential privacy or other add-ons, lifting the veil, how to test browser for spyware, for form classification, protect which forms don't get in your way. Email provider, which one do you choose? Let's see. Oh yeah, I remember. I think I did hit this website one time. Yes, I did. Oh my god, I remember. Yeah, I came on here by accident, and it was so much. I was like, I'm not reading all this fucking shit. Email is well-known communication system brought to a digital world for stuff. Community sites. You need to provide a host your own, or you can host your own, but we won't cover that here. Hosting your own email provider, the Shadow Wiki looks interesting, but anyway. By the way, hosting your own email provider, like your own email, is retarded. Basing it from the name. Like, this stuff is like more funny. I watch a tech YouTuber that has been a sysadmin for a very long time, and he says he hates email. It's retarded. It's like the worst thing to maintain. It's actually the worst job to have. Like doing email. This is why no one does it. Plus, you get blacklisted. I mean, to know that people were complaining about getting blacklisted. And I like to know them. Everyone is entitled to their own, is entitled to email privacy, take back your control of your data. Okay. I'm in. Just give me a minute to check if the evidence supports your claim. Okay. Introduction. You shouldn't host your own email unless you physically own the device you're hosting on. I agree with that. This is why everything I host is on my server. When I was hosting a PeerTube site, I was doing that because, first off, the government can just go to that hosting provider. All right, give us the information. That hosting provider, you can avoid email at all cost. If you can avoid, yeah. I don't think you can avoid email. Email is used in a lot of corporate environments, and I think we should have the right to encrypted email and for records. And I think the way Tuda does it, if you don't want to read all that, there is a summary. I think email's fine. I think people like don't realize how much we actually use it in our real life. I don't want to give out my phone number to a job application, company, versus when I can give them my email. Like there's certain things that I would rather give my email than my phone number and my information. I mean, it's just more convenient and it can be more private in some cases. Everyone is entitled to email privacy. Take back control of your data and experience a clean inbox with no advertising. Okay, I'm in. Just give me a minute to check if the evidence supports your claim. When you visit our website, we may collect information about you, including your browser type, operating system, internet protocol, address, computer. We use this information to facilitate the use of your website. Gather marketing information, prevent abuse of other services. No thanks, but I'll wait. That's only the website. I could possibly scroll down if you want to see the summary. Oh. You've read all this? 2023, fighting hard for the first spot. Fastmail is now Cloudflare. It's just like the comparison table. This is normally the pay providers, which are all absolutely terrible for privacy standpoint, from their privacy policy, archived, Mozilla archive. If you register, name, phone number, address, you're off to a fast start towards privacy hell. Fastmail, you can just give a fake address, fake phone number. I mean, you could just fake all that. I like that Tuda Noda is getting away from PGP. ClearNet domain link. So, by the way, Proton was awful to sign up if you wanted to do it through Tor, because I've done it. I want Proton to exist. I think they're great. I truly do. Even though I left them from a long-time Proton user, I want them to exist. For $10 a month, you get a Proton calendar, an encrypted drive, VPN, and some mail. Like, he really hates Cloudflare. Cloudflare is great. I think Cloudflare is actually, I know people hate it, but I remember when Skiff came out, and I was like, that's not going to last. Librem Mail. Is Cockmail still down? Safe Mail. Safemail.net. I cannot sign. Wait. In 2020 for time update. First, let me say that I cannot sign up. Enabling cookies. Java shit. Okay, he's a JavaScript hater. Fair. I'm a JavaScript hater too. Was the issue Pale Moon or maybe the VPN? Who cares? If I can't register the service, it's useless. Free tier doesn't not support mail clients. So for mail feds to be even slightly worth buying, you need to pay $250 a month for Bitcoin accepted. Bitcoin's not even really anonymous. It's pseudonymous. Bro doesn't even know some of these email providers. Yeah, by the way, this is my point. Do you realize how many fucking email providers out there? I was just grinding my gears in my brain about this. I'm like, we do not need more encrypted email providers. I'm for competition. But there's so many, bro. Like, really, we do not need that many. I say the same thing about encrypted chat. I want competition. I'm okay with it. But I do, like, I've never heard of Neom Box. Paid only $50 per year. Bitcoin accepted. Mail client supports. Mail client support. TOS forbids. The whole mail client thing is kind of a weird thing to care about. Because, like, if their client, if their mail provider, if their mail app is open source, who cares? Like, you don't need fucking Thunderbird. You shouldn't use this guy as a reliable source of info, though. For real. Yeah, of course. I would never. SecMail Pro. He spreads a lot of FUD. I'm just suggesting his site for the... Oh, yeah, no, 100%. I would never take his advice. I'm not that retarded. Registration totally black. Like when I switched from from Proton to 2 to Nota, I had some minor issues, but overall, I think they're the best providers out there. You're better off listening to an actual security researcher who's know actual shit. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is like schizoid shit. Start Mail is not good from what I understand. It's just not. It's not fun. Wow, there's like he's naming like email providers. Fedora email. What? Based. Someone just notified me about this one as well. I thought I might squeeze it in between my more important work. So let's go. You can make an account through Tor. Fedora email, guys. Come on. Is this real? Chad, is this real? Is this a Fedora-based email? And even people that say they're actual security researchers, they can be wrong. I mean, they can make mistakes. But a lot of this stuff is sold to people that are not security, like any much of this insider data. Nice. I think Hosto. I think this is another like decent option that people have pointed out. Like they're actually pretty good. I don't know. I think email is important. It's not going anywhere. It hasn't gone anywhere in a long time, and it's good to have I would rather pay 2 to Nota $36 a year than them sell off my data. That's my logic towards it. And if you're going to use Gmail, just make sure you don't put any identifiable information in there that's correlated to you. And that's all. Disroot. Someone told me about Disroot, and I was like, nah, I'm good. To tear up the roots or by the roots, hence to tear up from the foundation to uproot. Your data under your control. Pastebin. Nice. Let's see. I remember Rise Up. I was looking for. I'm not drunk. You're drunk. Ryan, you're supposed to be sleeping. I have criticized Mozilla and DDG for the same thing. I can't let it slide. Avoiding the botnet, impossible. So these kind of people are like the preppers. Like they're the people that get in this industry. They make more money off hyperbolic statements like this. And preppers make more money off virtue signaling like impending doom when it's not even probably going to happen. It is unproductive. And the reason it's unproductive is because it doesn't solve any issue and it causes people to panic and not trust anything. Like 2 to Nota, I do have a lot of, not 2 Nota. I have a lot of problems with Proton. I genuinely do. Their pricing, I think, is fine. For $10 a month, you do get a lot. And it's not Google. And you don't need it to be. And it's not like a monopoly. And if, like I said, email is not going anywhere. And it's the email that respects your privacy. And has relatively good security minus the PGP. PGP obviously has its problems. But PGP, in my opinion, should still be allowed because it allows you to encrypt your own emails yourself. You don't have to worry about if it ever becomes outlawed or illegal in your country, you have an option of encryption. How and why to VPNize your entire traffic? Oh my God, this is crazy. Wait, hold on. Slackware? Ryan, this is right up your alley. Look, they have Slackware. Slackware is for virgins, though. That's crazy. IP2 and Slackware. That's awesome. Capitalism die, but will it take what will take it with it? How money and the profit motive destroys everything. But how would society exist? One of the biggest victims of capitalism clause is video games turned from amazing pieces of entertainment to disgusting. I kind of Pretty good pussy. I hope so. Yo, I hope my bitch got PGP. Pretty good pussy. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. You know what's actually funny? Whether you like capitalism or not, people like to put capitalism evil, capitalism good. It's an economic system. It's not good or bad. It's just a system. It's like anything else. I think people put too much emotions behind it. Like, video games have been fucked. Is it effectively required for life? Housing, food, electricity, clothes, etc. cost money. That you can cut some costs, reducing them to zero is almost certainly impossible for the vast majority of people until everyone is forcibly thrown into the world of money. Not true. You can live without certain things. There's certain things you can live without. At the height of PC gaming, you used to buy a disc, put it in a drive, install the game, and be able to play it. I do agree that the digital like movement is problematic. Like, me not physically owning my media, I do have an issue with that. That is a problem. That's very difficult to hang on to. This guy has a lot of time to write, man. The toxic schooling system. All right, you already lost me. The schooling thing is, these are like a bunch of correlation retards. People that are, this guy hates school, but he, probably can't fucking read. Linux Essentials. Principle of bad software design. Useful Linux software you might not know about. Incognite has a giant fucking vuln. Incognite. Interesting. Wait, fake privacy. Keep things that are important to you. Ryan, you're a Slackware enthusiast, so I thought that was going to be important to you. 2 of my favorite YouTube channels have been deleted, but I have backups of them. I haven't been deleted. What are you talking about? I'm right here. This guy has a lot of links, man. This guy is linked up. I need to like thoroughly read through for a couple of days. I need to thoroughly read through this. There's a lot of information here, and I feel like I need to thoroughly go through all of it and do like an entire video on this. I'm gonna bookmark this shit. Why does he have does he not have an Onion site? Wouldn't that be better? You're part of my drunken dream. That didn't answer my question. You're fake news. You used the wrong "you" by the way. It's supposed to be "you are fake news." It's supposed to be apostrophe RE, buddy. Come on. I'm three beers in and kind of retarded right now, and I know that. Let's ask the internet, and I'll spell it right. You're fake news? Okay, come on. Okay, no, I'm not going to spell it. Or your fake news. Which one is it, Ryan? Bookmark, aka being tracked. I host my own bookmark server. Fuck you. Damn it. I'm not gonna be able to find the grammatically correct version because it's gonna be all fucking lame shit. I'll just put it by regular. I just bookmark stuff and then put them in my regular bookmark server. I think it's what is it? 8.4. I can't remember the internal IP address, but I go through TrueNAS. What is I mean, there might be a possibility of you being 15 drinks in. The fuck? Ryan, go to bed. That's what I'm about to do. I want to read more of the schizoid stuff. Oh, fuck my bones. I'm going to read more of this schizoid stuff and hopefully be back tomorrow. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later. GG's. Good night. Big Bussy.